Hello everyone and welcome to my video series on Team Fortress 2 weapon guides. In this video we will be looking at the Beggars Bazooka. The Beggars Bazooka was released in the Pyromania update. As many of you know already, is a rocket launcher available to the soldier class taking its primary slot. Let's go a little bit more in depth about this weapon. Unlike most rocket launchers in this game, this weapon is not very good for direct combat. This weapon does not function like any other rocket launcher as of yet. How this weapon works? Well, it starts with no ammunition loaded in the weapon. Holding your primary fire key will start loading rockets into this weapon, and releasing the primary fire key will launch every rocket inside this weapon in a rapid succession. This weapon cannot have more than 3 rockets loaded in it at a time, as that is its maximum magazine size. Loading any additional rockets beyond that will result in the rocket detonating right in front of your character's face or right on your character, causing massive self-damage to your character. So yeah. Alright. So when the primary fire button is released and you fire your rockets, the rockets have a 3-degree locus in which they could spread or deviate. So yeah, this may not seem like a lot, but believe me, this nullifies this weapon's ability to fight at long ranges. Targets a long range enemy that's standing still even. So yeah, but it's not all as bad as it sounds if you're just trying to provide cover fire or whatnot. But anyway, moving on. Let's see what else I want to say about this weapon. This weapon, due to balancing purposes, it cannot regain its ammunition from the cart or from any dispensers. You need to pick up you need to scrap a dead player's weapon, an ammo pack, or get back to your supply locker to replenish its ammunition. It starts at 0/20 pieces of ammunition or rockets. So yeah. Alright, what else I want to say? Let's see, the damage of this weapon. It could go as high as 112 or as low as 48, the same as most other rocket launchers. So yeah. What else do I want to say about this weapon? Let's see. Right. To loading this weapon is basically its reload. However, the only way you can load it is not you can't reload this weapon by holding reload key. It has to be a primary fire button key. Now, how long does it take for these rockets to be loaded in? Well, that's a good question. The first rocket takes approximately 1.2 seconds to load. Every additional rocket after that takes approximately 1 second to load into the weapon. So yeah, and like I said, you can't have more than 3 rockets in this weapon, otherwise every additional rocket will detonate immediately. So yeah, massive damage to yourself there. So yeah, what else did I want to say about this weapon? What was it? Just an interesting note. This weapon can be found from levels 1 all the way to level 100. So that's nice. I believe never mind that. Anyway, yeah, it could be found from level 1 to 100. So yeah, that's a little interesting side note, I suppose. What else did I want to say about this weapon? This weapon is pretty situational. Because firing one rocket at a time with this weapon is significantly slower than if you were to simply have a standard rocket launcher. So yeah. However, when you release the primary fire button and the rocket's launching everything inside its magazine, there's approximately a 20 millisecond delay between each rocket. So that's a very fast rate of fire once this weapon's loaded. So yeah. Yeah. But it takes a very long time to load this weapon to begin with. As I've said before, approximately 1.2 seconds for the first rocket, approximately 1 for every additional. So this weapon is not ideal for versatility, I suppose. This weapon is not ideal for direct combat. You should know where you're walking into if you're gonna use this weapon. You should probably if you're the only soldier in your team, this might not be the best weapon, as because you know, your team lacks and anyway, yeah, so if you're the only soldier, this would not be an ideal weapon unless you know, unless you just so happen to be in a good situation with it. How should this weapon be used? Well, it has the potential to put out a massive amount of damage at a very short amount of time, so taking out key targets is always an option. This weapon is also pretty good at suppression, I find, but that might just be me. So yeah. Let's see, but you know, what works well with this weapon? Well, because you lack the ability to fight, your ability to fight in direct combat is limited. I would recommend taking a shotgun and an escape plan with you. Escape plan in case you get into some trouble and you need to get out of there because your ability to fight back is limited, and shotgun because it'll let you quickly put out damage was it in the event that your bazooka or rocket launcher is unavailable or not ideal for the situation because the things are just getting a little bit too fast and or whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, this very situational rocket launcher is very different from what you would see. I think that's all I want to say about this weapon. Oh, you can find a strange variant of this weapon within crate number 56. So I suppose that's it. Oh, interesting side note: the Beggars Bazooka, or a variant of it, I believe, was featured in the one of the trailers in Team Fortress 2 before the weapon was even released. I suppose that might be where the design came from, but I'm not sure. I think it might be from the Meet the Soldier video, but I'm not sure about that. But just so you know, something that looked a lot like this weapon, which was seen in a video before one of the TF2 trailers or whatnot. So I suppose that's all I want to say about this weapon. Just a note: when you load more than 3 rockets in this, and the additional rockets that explode, they also hurt enemies. So in a rare scenario, that may be helpful, but I mean, if you're ubercharged, it doesn't really matter. But and even then, the enemy just simply outruns you. But you know, other than that, in a rare scenario, I suppose that's just a nice note to have. What else I want to say? Oh, this weapon is a lot of fun to use in man vs machine mode, so that's nice. Because in man vs machine, you're allowed to extend the maximum magazine size of this weapon. So when instead of a volley of 3 rockets in rapid succession, you can have a volley of 11 rockets in a rapid succession. So that's very devastating, I suppose. So or at least very fun to use. So or both. I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I hope you got something out of this video, or at least found it somewhat entertaining. And I suppose I would really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, or subscribe. But yeah, well, I suppose that's everything. So we'll see you all later. I'll talk to you all later. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that rocket jumping with this weapon. Was I was I So it's very situational, but it is possible to do some crazy stunts with this weapon. But for the most part, it's actually going to hinder you. So yeah, that's what I have to say about rocket jumping. Okay, now I think that's it. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. Yeah.